Being that the end of this year will mark the passing of around a decade since that seemingly magical indie game boom, I think it's worth it to plan a trip to 2014 land, spend the night on Retrospect Hotel, and go for a walk down memory lane. Out of the indie franchises that came out around that time, I'd argue the faces of the movement, the ones that would be featured on the Monarch, the ones that would be associated with the Freemasons, those would be Shovel Knight and Shantae. In terms of popularity, Shovel Knight went into the stratosphere, and with time turned into that local bartender everybody appreciates, whereas Shantae peaked in high school and still remembers the day in the football team. And if that's the case, then the original Shantae series is like the girl who used to watch Derry every week, but nowadays watches the Diary of Bridget Jones every year. Before the bright lights, before every YouTuber was featuring this one boss in the thumbnail of their videos, Way Forward worked on such illustrious titles as Sabrina, the animated series, Spooked, which makes Shantae their first attempt to escape licensed title purgatory. The plot of the game itself kind of features a similar situation. The half-genie has to return the steam engine from the hands of risky boots and prove herself as everything she dreams she can be. Now, I don't know about you. First of all, I couldn't ignore how horny this game is.
Sex? Yes, please.
I mean, look at the crouch animation. This game has a certain undertone, similar to how early Wonder Woman had certain undertone. Maybe we should be grateful this release on the Game Boy Color, because we know what they did at the height of their powers. Still, I wouldn't call it sexist in any way, given that, as far as I'm concerned, it actually represents female nature faithfully, in the sense that it looks very pretty and that it doesn't seem to like me very much. I say that last thing because Shantae isn't a hard game and the combat is not complex. However, every time I try to kill anything, I wish I could have stopped the parents of anyone who had anything to do with Shantae's basic attack from ever meeting. There's no range and everything takes too long to kill. On itself, that may cost you only a hit or two if you're playing well. The problem is that before later in the game, when you can just warp back and forth, you have to go through multiple screens in between towns, so it adds up in the long run. That said, the complete lack of anything remarkable won't stop me from giving the combat faint praise. I mean, I already tolerated Castlevania Adventure. This isn't that much worse. This combat system is better than getting 4th place in Mario Kart. Yes, there are item shops in every town you visit, giving you the option to buy several gadgets that do make the overworld screens easier. However, grinding for money gets tiresome quickly. To gain money, you can play this dance minigame on Scuttle Town or this gecko race over at Ocean Town. For the people that like this kind of thing, you know, this is the kind of thing those people like. I'm not crazy about either one of them. I would have preferred if you were given the option of having more races against Roddy Dogs, but whatever, that's not even the main point of the game. The main point of the game is retrieving the MacGuffins from inside the 4 dungeons. I know comparisons are odious, especially nowadays, with everything being something like, but bear with me. These dungeons are designed like Zelda dungeons are designed. Your goal once you enter any of them is to solve puzzles until you can go through previously blocked paths with a new ability you earned in that same dungeon. Reach the boss, defeat it, and on to the next one. This is the part of the game most affected by being in the Game Boy Color. If one really gets lost, it may take like half an hour from start to finish. But even that is on the high end. Yet they weren't all created equal. The best one is the Golem Mine. I like the gimmick of having to figure out how to enter certain rooms drenched in one color or another. Plus the boss fight integrates the elephant transformation very well, unlike the Cackle Mound, which features the supposed fire element stone, has a horror theme, and the boss is a living will. Completely incoherent. Way Forward managed to create a game that holds up to this day in every sense. I've showed footage of Shantae albeit long. For reference, Metal Gear on the same console and with Konami behind it look like this. Just on a graphics contest, WayForward are up there, not to mention the excellent work they did with the quality and quantity of the mechanics. I bet that if Shantae hadn't come out one whole year after the Game Boy Advance, then WayForward could have jumped into stardom in the early 2000s, rather than being stuck with making Barbie in the 12 Dancing Princesses.